Welcome back. That was quick.
That was pretty quick.
Kind of exciting as well.
Yeah.
The duel, the first game at least, I guess not so much. Because I was sitting at the highlight machine, and then the whole time I was like, yeah, it's a bit of a back and a forth and a back and a forth, and I was like, it's really really hard to find a highlight here.
Yeah. It was quite a stable game.
Yeah.
To be honest.
So, well, anyway, we're still going to take a look at the highlights of the first game. Let's take you guys straight to highlight number 1. It's a little bit of a longer one, so we can talk a little bit over this. Basically, it's a scene that elaborates what happened in the first game, which was this back and forth. There we see the Odd Eyes Fusion being played. And, yeah, that was like the first real negation of the game, I guess.
Yeah, so obviously Yosenju was made to just sit and try and deal with all of the opponent's cards.
Yeah, trying to bait out something, I guess.
Yeah.
And that was basically the first time this happened. And much of the first game was the same thing, I guess, with a little bit of aggression from one side, a little bit of an answer on the other side. And that was pretty much it.
Yep, so that actually went through in the end. And then it was it was all about Marcel actually doing the negating rather than the Yosenju player. And Marcel just kept saying, oh, you got an answer? No. That's you don't have an answer this time. I'm going to negate that.
And was that what you expected the game to be like?
I think Marcel you don't really ever want Odd Eyes Fusion. You only want it when you want it. You only get it with Sky Iris. You don't want to naturally draw it. So, yeah, I guess he got pretty fortunate that he he had a really bad opening hand, but then it turned out quite well because Odd Eyes Fusion ended up negating quite a few things.
Yeah. All right. So that is, in a way, that scene stands for the first game in a nutshell, I would say.
Oh, definitely, yeah. It's just kind of backwards and forwards. Generally, the Yosenju player would be the one that goes, oh, no, you can't do that. And instead it was kind of Marcel going, oh, attack? Oh, no, you can't do that. No, I can.
Yeah, yeah.
That's kind of how that went.
It's not always like that against Yosenju, but
no.
It's what, yeah, they don't mind if it happens that way, if they have enough negation.
Yeah, but I guess this time around, Marcel managed to come out on top.
All right. Let's take a look at our second highlight. It's, in a way, a bit of more of the same, where we also see a negation happening. But now this is basically the crucial point where Kelvin was running out of negation after that.
Yep. So that's just Apex Avian getting rid. That was the first drowning Mirror Force. He just kind of said, okay, so that's fine. I'm going to just take one of your back row away, but I'm going to get my Apex Avian back.
Right. And then the only controversial moment, slightly controversial moment in the first game, I guess, was that Chaos Trapple that was being activated in the first game. Let's bring you guys to the highlight number 3, if we can bring that in.
Yeah.
That was the moment when Marcel was in a very commanding position, of course. He just summons a bunch of monsters to the field. And now the question is, I don't know if you did address this in the interview just now, why the Chaos Trap Hole? Does it make any sense?
Yeah, so I don't think Marcel realized why it made any sense, to be honest. It was kind of...
Yeah, you can actually tell from the language. She's like, yeah, okay. Then I'll just put this away.
It doesn't really make sense because Archfiend Eccentric has 700 points.
Yeah.
So he took 2,000 damage in essence for 700 points.
Yeah, it sounds like one of the worst trades you can make.
Yeah, I mean, and Archfiend Eccentric is never going to be able to hurt a Yosenju monster because it's going to come back to the hand every turn.
Yeah, yeah. So that was basically the first game.
Yeah,
it doesn't look like much of a highlight reel, to be honest.
No.
But it, like you said, it was a slow burn. It went a little bit back, went a little bit forth.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. The second game, on the other hand, was, I would say, a lot more exciting.
Yeah, well,
the second game was a very different story.
Yeah.
And I have to say, this is probably the only time I'm going to say this, but what I really hate is that we don't have the commentators in our highlights when we look back, because we're talking over what happened in those games. There you see that's basically the end of game 1, of course.
Yeah.
And the most exciting thing about that second game, when Kelvin starts with 5 face downs, was your commentary.
It was all about what he was going to discard.
Yes, it was all about that.
He had to pick one.
It was a thriller. Let's take you guys to it. Let's take a look at the highlight. It's a little bit a longer one because it is interesting. He starts, you're like, okay, nothing's happening, but then suddenly he goes crazy, sets 3 face downs, summons a monster, and then we see the card of demise. The one card that turns this deck into a force to be reckoned with, just like many other anti-strategies.
Yeah, so he plays the Karma, plays the card Demise, and this is at the point where we were thinking, is he going to draw Chaos Trap Hole? He needs this to stop Denko.
Because you, of course, you saw the card in the opening hand.
Yeah.
I think it never was in focus at that moment. So unfortunately, I was just watching the stream, so I didn't see the opening hand. But you, of course, said it. Marcel Burri did have Denko Sekka in his opening hand.
Yeah.
And this is the situation that screams for Denko Sekka.
Yeah, exactly. And it seemed obvious to keep the Mystical Space Typhoon. It was between the Chaos Trap Hole and the Dark Bribe. But at the same time, I guess Dark Bribe in essence was going to do the same job as Mystical Space Typhoon in this particular matchup, because Marcel Burri playing the Pendulum Monsters kind of, it was all about getting rid of one of the pendulum scales.
Yeah.
That's what that was about.
But like in hindsight, don't you agree with him not setting Chaos Trap Hole? Because he mind tricked his opponent into thinking that he has a second one, or that he has something that can stop Denko Sekka.
Yeah, but it's really strange because it wasn't like Calvin
there you can
knew.
see his inner turmoil, where he's like, which card should I set it? You can see the Chaos Trap Hole was a candidate.
He never went to set it though. He never actually put it on the field, or did he?
I think one time. But
that was Chaos Trap Hole. No, I think that is Chaos Trap Hole. No. Okay, that was when that was when I thought it was Chaos Trap Hole, but then we got the app and it came up and it said it wasn't.
It's hard to see there, but then it wasn't. That was the moment when you went really, really crazy.
Because that was it.
Is it Chaos Trap Hole? Is it Chaos Trap Hole? Yeah, and
then we knew, and at that point it was just like, Marcel's going to play Denko.
He discards, and there is the Chaos Trap Hole. Yes. Yeah. And how surprising. You say you don't agree with the play to not play the Denko Sekka.
I think that there was no reason not to. Like, yes, he could have summoned it, and yes, it could have had its summon negated, but then that would have been one less back row to have to fight through.
Yeah, it's one way to look at it.
He pretty much fought through all the back row and then played Denko Sekka, and it just happened to be really lucky for him because he blocked out the MST, which would have won.
That game turned out completely differently than what you could have expected after that first opening and knowing that there's a Denko Sekka in hand.
If you fight through 4 back rows, you're not looking at a great position. Like, you're probably gonna have like one card left.
Right. Let's take it, guys, to the next highlight. It's a very quick, short one, and it just elaborates on that situation. There we see he plays a card, and it's not Denko Sekka. That's basically the entire statement to be made right here with the Sky Iris, and then.
So that hits that, and then I'm pretty sure he plays another Sky Iris.
Yeah, it just goes on like that. Yeah, he plays down his entire hand instead of just throwing down the Denko Sekka.
Yeah.
Right. And then we see the end of the game as our last highlight, of course. That is when Denko finally does get played.
Yeah, and it was good.
It was good still, which is interesting. I mean, kind of a lot less good. Than if you would have played it on the first turn, but still having some sort of an impact. Still a good card. And, wrapping things up for Marcel Burri, the Swiss champion, who came close before. There you see the triplet. Not a good hand at all.
No. I mean, if he'd have drawn any other Karma at that, he would have been able to do something.
Yeah.
To just put it straight, yeah.
But with that,
He could have overlaid
doesn't happen too often, of course, but when it happens, it hurts quite a bit.
Yeah. I think that was a real struggle for Calvin that last game.
Right.
He kind of did what his deck was supposed to do and used all those back row to stop Marcel. Even though the Denko was there, he didn't play it. And then he just got really unlucky with the Kamas that he drew.
There's the card of the match, the girl of the match, Denko Sekka.
Yeah.
We're going to see it at some point this weekend.
I hope so.
We've been hyping it a couple of times now because it's always cool to see when it comes down and there are 4 face downs, 5 face downs. We did have an opportunity this time around, but it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Was it meant to be?
No, it wasn't meant to be. Maybe we'll see it tomorrow.
Maybe that, yeah. All right, guys. We're going to take another short pause and then try to fill you in with what's going on at the tournament because we're nearing the conclusion of day 1. We have 2 more rounds scheduled for today. Considering the time, it's 9:30 p.m. at the moment. There is a certain chance we're going to move 1 more round to tomorrow. It's too early to tell, I don't know, but we're going to check with the scorekeeper, check with the tournament organization. Then we have some exciting updates for you guys, and then we're going to be right back with the coverage of Euros 2016.